What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everyone's doing well out there today, and welcome to the Week 11 Tailgate Show. That's right, we've made it through 11 weeks of content, so now is the time where we kick back, relax, put our feet up, put a cold drink in hand, and have a little bit of fun here. End of the week, plus we got some good information for you. We got some end of the week news. We're diving the Pristine mystery box. Tater is here for beer reviews and weather. We got Max Friday Flyers. We got the doc here for show us your teams. Tons of stuff, timestamps down below, but don't skip too far forward because a lot of great information. Plus, we're celebrating another milestone. That's right, we just hit a total of 40 million views. I don't know if Taylor's going to put it here or here. Wherever Taylor puts that graphic, we've reached 40 million views as a channel. We just want to take a quick second to thank Headliner Nation out there for all the support over the years, and because of that, I'm pulling something good out of this Pristine inbox. I'm talking about a straight banger this week, probably one of the highest priced items we've ever given away. Before we dive into that box though, I got to give you some end of the week news here, so let's go ahead and start off with that. And really the first thing we're talking about, the Kansas City Chiefs, right? We know there's no Juju, he's been ruled out. Mecole Hardman been ruled out also, which means Kadarius Toney is on what you would call an uphill trajectory to really increase his production here. And honestly, everywhere that I own him, I'm starting him this week. Hopefully that doesn't backfire. Hopefully I'm not the kiss of death, because Kadarius Toney's potential in this offense with these weapons out is huge. The Buffalo game, maybe you live under a rock. Maybe you haven't watched TV in days. They're not playing in the snow in Buffalo. They've now moved to Detroit, playing indoors against the Cleveland Browns. Should be a much better setting for an NFL game, but don't get me wrong, I was kind of looking forward to like Nick Chubb running under a pile of snow. All you see is like the snow moving, right? That's kind of what I was looking forward to, but now they're indoors. We also have Gerald Everett. He's off the injury report now for the Los Angeles Chargers. If you're looking for a tight end, he could be a possibility for you now this week. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, is this the return? We're kind of going to have to wait and see, right? Pretty much a questionable tag game time decision for both of these guys. Now, reports came out about Keenan Allen where he said he feels he's good to go. He did everything he wanted to in practice to make sure he felt comfortable going out there, and now it's up to the coaches. We could have Keenan Allen back here this week. If we do, I really don't have a problem throwing him into my lineup. He already came out and said earlier in the year that he was not coming back until he was fully healthy. So if he's back, we're looking for that full health, and we're looking for the old school Keenan Allen. Can we get some production from Keenan Allen, please? How about Matthew Stafford? He's off the final injury report. He should be good to go for the Los Angeles Rams. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, a lot of people were worried about them. Don't worry, they're going to be in the game. They're also good to go. DeAndre Swift, now word is coming out that he's kind of playing through some things, right? He's not 100% healthy. Well, no crap. The guy's getting single-digit touches for the last couple weeks coming off of this injury, and it's totally apparent that they're working him back into it slowly. That's okay. We may just be a little bit more cautious with him and really sit him on our bench until we see that increase in volume to really feel more comfortable with throwing him into our lineups. And then Cole Kmet, he is also good to go, been on fire with Justin Fields here as of late. Cole Kmet, another tight end option for you here this week if you need it. That's all I have for the end of the week news. Everything else we've either covered in our injury update show earlier today or in other videos throughout the week. So if you're missing more information, more chances than not, it's just in one of our other videos, so make sure you head over to the channel and check them out. But now is what you've been waiting for. Let's dive into this Pristine mystery box. And I mentioned it in the opening, right? This is probably one of the best things we've ever given away on this channel. And if you've been here long enough, you know we have given things away almost weekly for like 2.5 years. Nobody else does this. We're trying to give back as much as we can to the community, but we can only do it because of our friends over at Pristine Auction. If you have not signed up for a Pristine Auction account yet, do me a favor. Please, please do it. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to go buy anything. We need you to head over there, sign up for a new account using the referral code Headliners when you do so. They know that we sent you to their site. They're going to put a $10 credit into your account. If you choose to buy something at any given time, they'll get $10 off your first purchase there. So you're getting $10 just for signing up for an account, and then you can browse around some of their cool things. But it's by us sending the traffic to their site is why we keep getting straight bangers here to give away. Now, because this is such a high value item, we're giving away one this week. We try to do two every week, but this one is a big one right here. So without further ado, do you have any guesses? Can you put the guesses down below in the comment section? I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. This is none other. Oh, you see it right here. This is a signed Stefon Diggs Bills helmet, but this isn't just any helmet. We're talking official, on-field, legit NFL helmet right here. I mean, this is the real deal. You can see the Stefon Diggs signature. You can see it right here on top. It says Stefon Diggs, signed Bills, full-size, authentic, on-field, speed helmet, certificate of authenticity here, certified by Beckett. This thing is absolutely sweet. I thought about taking it off and putting it on my head, but I don't want to leave any like short head hairs or anything up in here for you. But this is a sweet item, an authentic on-field Stefon Diggs helmet. Go over to pristineauction.com right now and sign up for those free accounts. We're going to continue to get some absolute straight fire up in here, but the only way it's going to happen is if we keep setting up those accounts. So don't stop now, please, and thank you very much for that support. This is awesome. This is really going to make somebody's day, right? Where's Bills Mafia at? Step up, Bills Mafia. Make sure you have your Pristine Auction account. But that's all I got right now for the Pristine Auction mystery box. Like I said, it was a big money one, right? That helmet right here, that was probably like $500, maybe even $600. That's a lot, and we're just giving it away. Who else does stuff like this? But anyway, enough of that. Now is time to dive into the weather, maybe a beer review. Let's see what Tater's got going on for us here in Week 11.
Jake, what? Can you hear me? Jake, can you hear me? Yeah, no, I'm out. What? Yeah, no, I didn't see the new. They did what? In Detroit? Oh, mate, son of a... What about this snowmobile I rented? That's not coming out of my pay. You said that was gonna be your... This is ridiculous. Well, hey everybody, and welcome to this weekend's weather report, if you want to call it that, and beer review. I was really looking forward to being able to be out there in the snowmobile. I got beer. We're going to talk about it, I guess. Really just every game is cold or inside, so we'll bother. I don't want that to take away from this week's beer review, though. This is another one that I got from that fancy store down the road a little bit. I paid $6 for this can. Well, Jake paid $6. Sorry, Jake. And this is the Edmonds Oast Brewing Company, and it's called Hush That Fuss. And I picked this up because it's kind of like Blocking Kyle on Twitter. This is a hoppy wheat ale, and they call it Hush That Fuss, not because they follow Kyle anymore, but because it's got a nice orange aroma that'll hush that fuss before you even take a sip, it says. So I'm gonna get into this. This is a product, it's made in Charleston, South Carolina. We got a 5.5% here. And yeah, so if you're ever in Charleston, maybe you wanna check this out, but we'll find out right here. So that's nice. Now it says it has that aroma. I don't know if I'm standing downwind. I can still... It is nice. Citrusy, sure. I wouldn't... It's not too far removed from maybe like a Blue Moon, you know, if you're sipping on a Blue Moon and get that citrusy, especially if it's, you can throw the orange peel in there. Maybe I should have done that with this. But anyways, this is the Edmonds Oast Brewing Hush That Fuss. Sorry, Kyle. Let's take a sip. Okay, well, for those of you maybe that have tried like a Blue Moon before, something citrusy, this isn't that bad. It's very similar, I'd say. It got that nice, it does have that nice aroma. I agree with that. Probably be even better if you went there and, you know, had one on draft or something. But what I would say about this is it's like a Blue Moon, grew up and got a job, maybe with something with some nice insurance benefits and 401k match or something. But it's good. It is very good. It's like a more mature Blue Moon. $6 where I got this. It was steep, but it's good. I can't deny that. If I'm gonna give this, oh golly, maybe a 7.6. It is good. That may be even too low, but a very refreshing taste to it. A very good aroma. They hit the nail on the head with that. This one, unlike the past couple weeks, I'm gonna finish this one off here in a little bit. But listen, that's it for this weekend's weather report and beer review. Thank God we finally got another good beer that we can try. Once again, that's the Edmonds Oast, OAST Brewing Company. Hush that fuss. I mean, you can see it there. But if you're ever in Charleston, South Carolina, or you see one of these laying around somewhere, pick it up, try it. Even for $6, it's worth tasting. And we'll see you next week back here on the Weekend Weather Report. I'll send it back to the studio.
Anyone else getting like some Teen Wolf vibes going on here with Tater lately? I mean, there's no way in hell I'm paying for that snowmobile. 100%. I can tell you that right now. But I'm not going to get hung up on that. It's time to get with Mac and find out what he's got going on for the Friday Flyers.
Headliner Nation, what's good? It's your boy Big Mac. I'm back once again with the Friday Flyers. That's 5 guys. If you got room on your bench, stash them away and get ahead of the curve. So listen, without further ado, let's get to it. First player up I want to talk about is Colin Granson, the tight end from the Indianapolis Colts. So Jeff Saturday came in, got that first victory, got the team all riled up, with his post-game speeches. But I think he needs to work on it just a tad bit.
We all getting balls.
Yeah, Jeff, that ain't gonna work. We ain't talking about no balls around here. But look, at any rate, Colin Granson, like I said, with Jelani Woods being out and Mo Alley Cox both being banged up, they need a third option. They don't have Naeem Hines anymore. So you got Paris Campbell, and you also got Michael Pittman. He's gonna be the alpha, quote unquote alpha. Matt Ryan needs a safety valve. Colin Granson came in this past week. He had 4 targets for 57 yards. That's not great, but it's not bad either. So if they can continually build upon that, and they're going to need, like I said, those underneath targets to kind of help loosen defense up a little bit, because Jonathan Taylor now, he's running like he should have been doing the past 8-9 games, right? So he's looking like the old Jonathan Taylor. So Colin Granson might be, like I said, a dart throw, but it's somebody that, especially in this league where you got tight ends that are just volatile, so Colin Granson could come in and be somewhat viable. So if he's out there, I would say go pick him up. Next up is Juwan Jennings, wide receiver from the 49ers. So Juwan is starting to become one of those safety valve players that Jimmy G is starting to depend on, especially on third downs. He already has George Kittle, of course. That's his go-to guy, right? But now defenses are starting to key in a little bit more on Kittle. So now Juwan Jennings is starting to emerge as a huge target, especially coming out of the backfield. They'll line him up at slot a lot of times, that power slot. And, they give him a few end rounds here and there. But the main advantage that he has within his offense is on third downs. Like I said, he's huge when it comes to third down situations, 3rd and 8, 3rd and long, whatever the case may be. They like to bring Juwan in those packages just to keep the defense honest. Like I said, he's about 6'3", 240 some pounds. So it's very hard for smaller DBs or even linebackers to guard him. He's almost like Claypool in essence. That's the same mode of player that they like to use to make mismatches on the defense. So if he's out there, I would take a look at him, because he's starting to emerge himself into this offense even more, and they're starting to use him considerably. So check him out if he's out there. Next up is Kendall Hinton, the wide receiver from the Denver Broncos. So look, Jerry Jeudy and Hamler, these guys, I don't know what they're made of, but they can't stay healthy. Jerry Jeudy seems like he's getting chopped by the West Virginia Ninja, every other week.
Like a Judy chop. Because what you don't want to do is I could be a Judy chopping and a kung fu kicking, and there goes your leg.
So with these two guys being out right now, your only pass catching options right now is Dolchich and Cortland Sutton. Kendall Hinton is pretty much, by process of elimination, the next man up, right? But last week he had 5 targets for 62 yards, so that's pretty decent. So if that continues to increase, and depending upon how long the other two are going to be out, he could be a guy that's sitting on your waiver wires right now. You know, you could plug and play and use him maybe as a flex, wide receiver 3, with the potential of upside being a wide receiver 2, because they're going to have to throw the ball. The run game is sort of stagnant right now. You know, they're shuffling in guys, you know, 2 and 3 backs, these old backs or whatever, right? So they need to get some type of offense flowing. So Kendall should be one of those guys that you might want to look at. He could be effective within this offense. So if he's out there, like I said, it's a dart throw, but still, you know, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're getting down to the wire right now, and the waiver wire is kind of sparse. So if he's out there, I would check him out and just see what happens. All right, next up, I want to talk about Trent Sheffield. He's a wide receiver from Miami. So we all know Waddle. We all know about the Cheetah. Those guys, there's nothing really to be said about it. It's just you got speed upon speed, right? But now they've got a third down option. Everybody thought it was going to be Gesicki, but it's starting to look like Trent Sheffield is starting to come to be that third down option. In the past 4 games, the previous 4 games, he's averaged about 9 PPR points a game. And I mean, it's pretty easy to do when you got two speedsters like Waddle and Tyreek that you got to contend with. You know, the middle of the field is open. A lot of that is starting to get consumed with the running backs that they're shuffling in, because they're great pass catchers as well. But when they run 3 wides, Trent Sheffield comes in, and he's been very productive here recently. And also, when you got the Cheetah who shouts you out, that's saying something. But like I said, Mike McDaniel is starting to, you know, he's pulling out everything out of the bag, right? They're trying to make a run, and they're looking pretty good at it. Trent Sheffield is one of those guys that when you got an offense that's throwing the ball like they are, you want a piece of it in any way possible, and he's very lowly owned right now. So if he's out there, again, I know they're on bye right now, but this is all about getting ahead of the curve and ahead of the waiver wire. Go out there if you got room, stash him away, and just see what happens. All right, guys, last but not least, I want to talk about a player. Now, I've already mentioned him in weeks prior on the same segment, Friday Flyers. Now, listen, the guy's only 26% owned in most leagues, right? But his price is skyrocketing.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
The guy I'm talking about is Jaylen Warren from the Pittsburgh Steelers. So right now, they're already in a 50-50 split. Najee Harris has been banged up. He's got these little injuries here. The Liz Frank, you know, he had an ankle injury. Now they're talking about some type of knee soreness, discomfort. It's going to be a situation where if the guy's giving you 50-50 split right now, within this type of offense where they, quote unquote, have always had like a bell cow, but if he's getting at least 15 carries a game, you want a piece of that, especially going into the playoffs. It's about to get cold. You got to have a running game, you know, going into these winter months, you know, this bad weather and stuff like that. Jaylen Warren is a guy that you can pretty much go out there and he's still free. 26% on.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Couldn't even hardly get it out. I'm just excited about it. I'm telling you, you need to go out there and get him. If he's on your waiver wire, do what you got to do to go get him. I'm telling you, especially if you're a Najee Harris owner. But if you don't have him, I would still go and try to get Jaylen Warren. Because like I said, he's a flex play as is right now, okay? So he's pretty much better than a lot of these running backs that a lot of people are plugging in. He just hadn't fell into the end zone as of yet, but it's coming. Mark my words, it's coming. But at any rate, listen, fellas and ladies, I appreciate the time. I'm glad to be here once again. I'll be back next week to give you some more fire. Y'all tune in. Hey, it's been a pleasure. And as always, peace, love, salute.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Mac. I wish I was that cool, calm, and collected. I'm a little bit more high-strung, but loving the Friday Flyers, Mac. But here's the time that a lot of people really enjoy. It's time for me and the doc to team up and do Show Us Your Teams. All right, Ethan, here we go. It's week 11. It's time for Show Us Your Teams. Got some good submissions. Got a lot of information on these submissions, Ethan. There's a lot of words that are going to be covered in this segment here today. We're gonna have to work for this one here this week.
I love words, Jake. More words, the better.
It all depends. I don't really read well. So anyway, let's move forward here. Let's go ahead and start with the first one. Let's pull this one up. This is She Digs My Morning Chub. I like it. Got the digs for Stephon Diggs, the Chubb for Nick Chubb. We're going to check the roster here in a second to make sure you have both of those so you don't get deducted points. Currently 8-2.
Nice.
Has the hashtag Headliner Nation. Has the old school S. I remember drawing those S's when I was like in 4th grade. And I am old. I am old, Ethan. So that's a throwback for me. Looks like he's a Seahawks fan.
Yeah.
He went double hashtag, Ethan. I don't know if we've ever had a double hashtag, double Headliner Nation hashtag here.
Oh, yeah, I see that. I was like, wait a second. It looks like a regular hashtag to me. I thought you meant like double the hashes.
Nope. Just single hashes 2 times.
2 times. I got you.
This is from our buddy here, Andrew Tripp on Twitter. He says, any help or ideas would be great. All right, Ethan, here we go. Let's dive right in. The first thing off, we have a quarterback of Marcus Mariota. Okay. Then we have a running back of Eckler, Chubb, Diggs, Hopkins. Tight end is Njoku. He lost Ertz, but it's not looking good for Njoku. No. Then we got Pierce, the Cardinals, and Carlson. On his bench has Brandon Cooks, who says he's dropping. Jalen Waddle, who's on a bye week. We got Rondale Moore, Tom Brady, also on a bye week. And then it looks like he has Deshaun Watson as well. There's a dropping Mariota after the bye week. So he's not dropping Brandon Cooks. He's got Jumo Williams on the IR along with Ertz. Who the hell is Jumo?
I would assume it's Javonte, right?
Or is it Jameson?
Maybe it's Jameson. Jamo. Maybe it's Jamo.
Jamo or Jumo? Jumo
Williams.
Anyway, he says here, I got some asterisks I got to try to read here real quick. And then we're going to talk about the players.
Yeah.
Trades this year, I think. Traded Kamara for Hopkins. Gibson for Cooks. It says week 3. I think it says the world after it or something. I don't.
It says ew.
Oh, okay. I had no idea what that was.
Like gross. Like ew.
I thought maybe it was an FWIW for what it's worth. I didn't know. Then he got traded Ramondre Stevenson for Waddle, and then Kittle and Hunt for Kamara. So he traded Kamara for Hopkins above. How did you trade Kittle and Hunt for Kamara again?
Maybe it's a double. What traded for Kamara?
But I don't see Kamara on this roster.
I'm confused.
I don't see a Kamara. Kamara is nowhere to be found. Now, my initial question to you, Ethan, is why the hell is Marcus Mariota spelled out? But everybody else from Eckler to Njoku is just a last name. And then all of a sudden we pick it up again with the full Dameon Pierce.
Yeah, and I don't know is that Dameon Pierce spelled correctly?
No, I don't believe it is. I think it's EON.
I think it's EON. So negative points for that. I'm not sure what the we got Carlson at the bottom, and I don't really see why you're dropping Mariota. I mean, I guess you're putting in Brady.
I guess he's going Brady for the next couple of weeks. Then he's hoping for Watson after that, I'm guessing.
Okay.
I'm personally not holding 2 quarterbacks on my bench.
Yeah, that seems a little.
That's a little much. But I'm not even big on Deshaun Watson, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, the guy hasn't played football in 2 years. Can't even come back to week 13. Like. it's going to take a little bit of time. So I understand the draw to it, but personally, I'm not probably holding Watson.
I could see maybe trying to move Watson if
I can see that.
Felt like you wanted, you're taking the hit regardless because you've held him this whole time. So you're probably just going to hold on to him because you think he's going to, kind of lead you into the playoffs. I think this team is definitely good enough to make the playoffs.
It needs a tight end.
The team's pretty stacked. I mean, the tight end. Who are you moving though? Like, who are you trying to get rid of to get a tight end?
I'm probably just streaming tight end because I think Njoku will be back in the next week or so. I just don't think he's going to play this week, and that could be a problem. Plus, you got Njoku in a game going up against what they play Buffalo. They play Buffalo, and the weather forecast in Buffalo was calling for like 30 inches of snow.
Miserable.
So even if Njoku was playing, probably not the greatest play anyway, especially since you already have Diggs and Chubb in that same matchup. I'm not thinking about Njoku. I'm probably streaming somebody. Maybe it sounds nuts, but I'm more than likely, I'd probably drop one of my quarterbacks if it's me. Yeah. I want to know, I guess you can't because he's technically not hurt, but I was wondering why you can't just drop Ertz and put Watson on your IR. Some leagues allow that. That's what I would do.
I guess maybe if you could. Might even be able to put Njoku on there depending on what your rules are. Sometimes if they're ruled out, you can put them on IR.
Yep.
That would be a way to stash them. Ertz is done for the year, so there's no point in kind of, at least with if assuming that's Jameson Williams, you can maybe stash him. Maybe he comes back. I told you not to draft him because you were just going to hold him the whole time. But I was also pretty bullish on not drafting Deshaun Watson too. So
what you're saying is Andrew here did not listen to a word you said.
Well, I think he needs a tight end. He needs somebody he can stream. There has to be Njoku may have been the best option, but I don't know if he's the best option this week. So you're looking for another tight end. I wouldn't even be opposed to dropping Njoku to get that tight end if it was me.
It all really depends on what's available out there. If you don't want to drop Njoku, I do try to put him in the IR spot over Ertz at this point, and then pick up a streaming tight end as of right now. You got a lot invested in that bad weather game, so I don't know if I want to go anymore. What's your grade here, Ethan?
I still think the team is really good. Eckler, Chubb, Diggs, Hopkins is going to be tough to beat week to week. So I'm going to give it an A-. I think that the losing the tight end, that kind of weekly plug and play guy, is going to hurt, but I still think there's probably somewhere you can maybe even trying to flip like a Rondale Moore into a low end tight end. Might be something I'd be looking at if you got somebody that really needs wide receiver help.
Maybe you can go after, and this is a name that I know that's not like high on a lot of lists, but even Tyler Higbee. With no Cooper Kupp, he could see an increased volume share, and it's not going to cost hardly anything to get him. So something like that. And I think I'm going to go with a solid B as well. We need to make a couple moves, and I'm just not a huge fan of all the quarterbacks on the bench. But here we go. Let's go to the next one here. We got Cole World, who's got a picture of what says 21 Savage. I'm glad that it says that because if it didn't, I would have no idea who.
We would have probably gotten in trouble with our guesses.
I would have thought it was like Antonio Brown or something, but no.
Yeah, see, that's how we're going to get. They don't, Jake, you can't be making these types of assumptions, okay? Because I don't know who that looks like. I'm not going to get myself in trouble.
I had no idea. So I appreciate that it was on there for us. Now, what really drew my attention to this one, Ethan, I feel like, and maybe it's just perception, but I feel like the team name and everything, it's like very lined up. Like it's very straight writing. Like, you know what I mean? I understand that the 10-team PPR, the Headliner Nation, the 7-3, how many wins you got, a lot, they have a line underneath it, but I just feel like it's very well laid out, and that drew my attention to it.
Yeah.
So we got some key questions on here, but let's run through the lineup here real quick. It says the starters are Justin Fields, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, T. Higgins, CeeDee Lamb, Hawk. I'm guessing that's Deontay Johnson, the Eagles, and Butker. On the bench, you got Samuel, Herbert, who he's dropping, Burrow.
He's hurt.
Deshaun Watson, another person stashing Deshaun Watson, Jerry Jeudy, Chris Godwin, Kenneth Walker, and David Njoku on his IR. His question: should I trade Fields or Burrow plus another player for a position upgrade? I am not opposed to that. Burrow's already had his bye week. Fields' value will never be higher than it is right now. I'm probably looking for you don't need a lot of upgrades, but maybe a higher end. I would like to upgrade my flex, but you have that upgrade when it's not a bye week because you have Kenneth Walker. DeAndre Swift has kind of come back a little bit slowly. So, yeah, I would definitely try to move one of those guys and almost any one of those pieces for the most part. Deontay Johnson, Curtis Samuel, Jerry Jeudy, Chris Godwin, even DeAndre Swift. I don't know if he's going to have a whole lot of value right now. I'd kind of move any one of those guys, try to get an upgrade at my flex spot.
Yeah, the RB2 spot is the one that's a little bit concerning for me.
But he's got Kenneth Walker. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so just because it's a bye week.
I get that, but I also think that running back is such one of those positions that I just want to have 3 guys.
I do
and too. I think with the players that you have to trade, there's a team out there that has 3 really good running backs that is dying for a quarterback of Justin Fields' caliber or of Joe Burrow's caliber. Maybe they're trying to make the playoffs. They're like just outside of it. I'm targeting those teams that have underperformed this year, but are right on the cusp, the ones that are still trying to make a move to make something happen. And you can go, hey, I've had the quarterback one over the last 4 weeks. I'm sitting here, but I noticed that, you have Nick Chubb on your team and you're 4-5, or 5-5 or whatever. So I got to get my numbers right here.
Yeah.
And maybe you can make a deal for a Fields and I don't know, pick a guy off the bench and get a Nick Chubb, and then you put him in as your RB2 and you still have Burrow. You're in a better spot overall because I don't know what we're going to get from DeAndre Swift the rest of this year. I am concerned. The dude's not healthy. It doesn't look like he's getting healthier as he gets more rest. So I just don't know when we're going to see it. Could be this week. It could be not at all this year.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
if we could upgrade a one running back spot, and then that gives you the luxury of putting Swift on the bench. And if he does turn it around, you have him as a potential flex play, but you're still rolling every week with Jonathan Taylor and whoever you pick up to go with a T Higgins, a CD Lamb, a Chris Godwin on the bench. Judy's kind of banged up right now as well. Yeah, I'm for sure doing that. His next question wants to know what kind of return could he get. We kind of addressed that. He wants to know, should he trade Hawkinson? Should I try to trade Hawkinson for value, assuming Njoku comes back? No, I'm not doing that as of right now because Njoku could be another week or so away. I'm not going to sacrifice more. I'm not sacrificing wins right now, not this time of the year. And then should I look for a kicker upgrade? No, you got Harrison Butker. He's the guy for the Chiefs. Honestly, if you're worried about kicker, the only thing I tell people about kickers is just look for guys who are kicking indoors on high-powered offenses if you want to stream every week, so then you don't have to worry about weather once we get into these cold months. What's the grade here, Ethan?
I like the artwork. I think the team was easy to understand and talk about. Well. And so I like that he had some questions on there too, because that helps us.
I do too. I'll mention that.
It kind of gears the conversation about the team a little bit more. I know we love to just ham it up about these teams. A little, the artwork really pulls it together for me. Overall, really solid presentation. I think the team is good enough to win. So I'm going to go with an A- here. I still think there's a little bit of work to do with those running backs and the flex spot. I don't know if I trust Deontay Johnson week to week. I know bye weeks are playing into that a little bit, but would like to see you try to make a move to maybe really solidify yourself as the guy to beat. In this
at 7-3, if you can make a move like we just talked about, I think that's a solid A team rest of season with decent depth, 100%. But you got to try to make one of those moves. I agree. All right, next one here. We're going to Aaron Brock, who's smoking herbs. I'm not going to make any assumptions, Ethan.
Is it smoking or smocking?
Smocking. All right, so we got a 10-team half PPR. There's a lot going on here, Ethan.
There's so much going on.
If I miss anything on here, Aaron, it's not intentional. Says 4-6. Thanks, Eagles. So he's pissed off at the Eagles. His quarterback here is Justin Herbert, fancy number 1. I like that. We got, looks like Nick Chubb, Damian Pierce, who he did spell right, EON,
Well, he put Danian Pierce, but we'll give him partial
Danian,
credit.
that's right. It is. That does say Danian.
Danian.
A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, going double Brownie at his wide receiver spot. Dallas Goedert, fancy number 2. That one's got to come out immediately. Flexing Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
Eagles and Tucker. On the bench, Chris Godwin, Khalil Herbert, who's fancy number 3. Josh Palmer, Cordero Patterson, Tyler Bass, who he's going to drop, he says. And then Kirk Cousins on the bench as well. He's got the hashtag Headliner Nation with our Twitter handles. Are they correct? Yep, they're correct. And they even have little hearts next to them. He's made some trades, and this is where things get a little bit crazy, and I don't know if I can understand everything.
Okay.
It looks like Darrell Henderson and A.J. Dillon for A.J. Brown after the Akers news. So after the Akers news, somebody gave you A.J. Brown for Darrell Henderson and A.J. Dillon. That is a definite win.
That's a dub.
That's a dub. Trade number 2, Devontae Adams, Zach Ertz, Devontae Smith, Deonta Foreman for Nick Chubb, Chris Godwin, Dallas Goedert after the CMC trade. So Adams, Ertz, Devontae, Foreman, because Foreman had the higher value because of CMC, and in return, he got Chubb, Godwin, and Goddard. I would almost say that that's close to a dub. I love getting Nick Chubb. Chris Godwin, a slight downgrade. Goddard would have been a lateral move until the injury. So obviously you didn't know that.
I think that's an upgrade. I think that's an upgrade.
It's pretty close to it. Yeah. I mean, Zach
Ertz
he was flirting in the top 5 all year long, as Zach Ertz has been at the position. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's not like maybe if you're upgrading maybe a spot.
It's more range, but Goddard has a higher boom potential.
Okay, number 3, we have Pittman and Eno for Patterson and Gabe Davis. That's a slam dunk.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
And then the last one, Joe Mixon and Jerry Jeudy. And in return, you got Amon-Ra, Damian Pierce. And that just happened last week.
I'd say that's a dub.
Yeah, overall, I don't think the trades hurt you that bad. Right now, though, you need yourself a tight end because you don't have one on your bench, on your roster at all that's going to play. Who are you going to drop? I'm going to drop one of my kickers because I'm definitely not keeping both of them. So I'm dropping Tyler Bass due to the weather this week, and I'm picking up a tight end and streaming him ASAP.
I wouldn't be opposed to dropping Khalil Herbert too.
That too.
You're going to have to do something with him. Reports from my guy up in Chicago, which I have a guy up in Chicago, which tells me things.
Okay.
I got a guy up in Chicago, tells me things. They don't think that he's done for the year, but he's definitely done for the fantasy season. He's not going to be coming back anytime soon.
Yep. Personally, I'm also thinking about throwing Cordero Patterson into my flex spot over Gabe Davis if the weather is as bad as everybody says it's going to be. We'll have to wait and see later on in the week. But if it's bad, that's something I may think about as well.
Yeah, this week is going to be a little tough from just a bye week perspective. Obviously you want to get Godwin in there, but
Godwin's on bye week this week too.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's because you can't get Godwin in there for the flex. We'll see what happens with A.J. Brown. He kind of tweaked his knee during the game. Nobody was really talking about it much, but am concerned that maybe he's got something going on there. Overall, the team has gotten killed with injuries this week specifically, but he's been making moves. We know he's active. The team is still pretty good, top to bottom. Need to find a tight end that can get you something week to week.
Yep. You're going to have to stream that.
Yeah, you're just going to have to stream. I don't know if you have enough options to trade for a tight end, if you could even get a tight end that's worth trading for at this point. I doubt it. But I think the team's pretty good. 4-6, probably some bad luck there. I think this team, you're making the moves to try to make it into the playoffs. So get a tight end. Hope you win a couple more games, maybe sneak into the playoffs. I still think you got a good enough squad here to compete. So I'm going to go with like a B- here, Jake.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. B- or so. Yeah. Need to make some of those moves with some of the players on the bench ASAP. Don't wait any longer. Go out there and get anything other than these guys, because they're not going to do anything for you as of right now, for sure. All right, next one, Ethan. Time to go over to Seth, who has team Seth Boyardee. So he's named his team after himself, which I have no issues with.
Hey, it's that's pretty funny.
Seth Boyardee. I mean,
yeah,
I enjoy saying it.
Could have drawn a soup can or something, you know?
Yeah, I mean, dude, you could have drawn a soup can with your name on it. Come on, Seth. Got the hashtag in there. 10-team PPR. This is a Yahoo Public League, and he's 10-0. So, okay, Seth. First off, we got to get you into some leagues with people that you know, because I don't know if this means that you don't know anybody else in the league. It's just some public league that you join, and everybody has given up, and that's why you're 10-0, or what's going. I don't know enough about it. But Seth, you need to become a member here of Headliner Nation. Get into our Discord.
Seth may be the only person setting his lineup in this league. He may be.
We don't even know, Seth.
We don't know.
Seth, we need full disclosure back on this tweet. Let us know if everybody else in this league is setting rosters. But let's see how your team is. So you got Kyler Murray, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, CeeDee Lamb, Chris Olave, Travis Kelce, Jamal Williams, Graham Gano, the Patriots. On the bench, you got Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, Geno Smith, Devontae Smith, Brandon Cooks, Mike Williams, and the Dallas defense. Overall, I don't mind this team. I'm surprised that this team is 10-0, though.
I'm not surprised at all. I mean,
Jonathan Taylor has been disappointing until last week.
Yeah, but he has Travis Etienne, Kenneth Walker. They've been
okay. I guess that's true. I'm kind of just
Josh Jacobs been consistent all year. CeeDee Lamb's been, Chris Olave, Travis Kelce. Here's the thing, Jake. You know that I'm pro early tight end if you're getting Kelce or Andrews, especially this year. And the reason that I'm that way is I don't think that you can find very many teams with Travis Kelce on them that are not either going to make the playoffs or close to making the playoffs. Like, there's just not that many players in the league where you can draft them and know that you're probably going to win 5 or 6 games just off of that one guy being such a competitive advantage. So I could see how he's 10-0. And again, it's a Yahoo Public League. There's not as many stakes here.
Did you say
overall?
Stakes?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm froze.
Oh no. Jake is frozen.
Here, let me fix my freezedness.
Let it go.
Let's go to this camera. And then let's go back to this camera.
No more.
And now I'm frozen. No, I have no idea when I even froze.
He's been froze for like 3 days.
Yeah, for like 3 days. Oh, well, it is what at least you heard everything that was going on. But yeah, I got to agree, Ethan. I mean, I like Travis Kelce. I actually have Travis Kelce early in our listener league. I do.
No, you stole Travis Kelce.
I stole him
in the third round.
I stole him from you. But yeah, I guess like what you're saying, his bench with Walker and ETN is probably a huge reason. Great depth when Jonathan Taylor wasn't performing. You had those guys to plug and play if needed. Overall, it's solid. Like I told Seth, Seth needs to become a member of Headliner Nation so he can get into our Discord and join some leagues with some of us. So he doesn't have to worry about Yahoo Public Leagues. Now, with that being said, congrats on being 10-0. I mean, not taking anything away from that. You're still out there absolutely you're out there mushroom stamping everything right now, Seth, and we like to see that. Don't Google it later, Ethan. Not right now. Google it later. Overall, great team, solid team. Gonna give this one a solid A, Ethan.
Yeah, this is an A team for me as well, Jake.
All right, let's move on to the last one here. We have the Fresh Prince of Hilaire, which honestly, it's a pretty dang good Fresh Prince logo.
That's pretty solid.
It is. King Cobra 808 says 808 all day. I'm going to have to get close to this one so I can read it. So we got
you need me to read it? I can actually read it pretty well, Jake.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah,
all right. Quarterback, you got Lamar Jackson, Action Jackson.
Oh, he's got nicknames on here?
Yep. Running back, you got Alvin Kamara, AK-41, Jonathan Taylor at his RB2 spot, JT. Devontae Adams, Devo. I think it says Devo. Yep. DeAndre Hopkins, Nuke Hopkins. Pat Fryermuth, the Muth, Kenneth Gainwell the third, and Flex K9.
That's Kenneth Walker the third.
Yeah, that's what I said, right?
No, you said Kenneth Gainwell.
Oh well, I'm an idiot. Kenneth Walker the third. Sorry. He's got the Patriots defense. I think it says Homeland Defense. Homeland Defense is probably what he's going for. I should say it right. Harrison Butker, butt kicker. And then on the bench, he's got Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, T. Higgins,
Chihuahua? Is that his nickname?
I didn't think it was, but it is now.
It is now.
Kadarius Toney, Young Joka, I think is what that says. Devonta
I'm learning
Smith.
some new ones. That's Skinny Batman.
Skinny Batman. Okay.
I've heard that one.
Miles Sanders.
Booby
Miles. Ezekiel Elliott, Zeke. Oh, and then it's got waiver claims at the bottom. So he's dropping Zach Ertz for Cole Kmet.
Okay. Drop Jimmy G for Christian Watson.
Yeah. Should I make
moves?
Okay. I thought it said money. I was like, well, yeah, always be making money.
Got
offered Debo for Jonathan Taylor and T. Higgins.
Don't do that.
Or we don't know. It cuts off. We don't know.
Oh, well, that's just unacceptable. Let me
Jake's going to find that. No, you're absolutely not trading. I'm not even trading for Debo Samuel, but I'm definitely not trading Jonathan Taylor for him. This team is really stacked, especially in the starting lineup. We got Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, Pat Fryermuth's been amazing this year from a volume perspective, at least. And then you got T. Higgins hanging out on your bench. Kadarius Toney, he's in line for more work as Mecole Hardman and Juju Smith-Schuster hurt this week. Devontae Smith, I mean, he's been okay. I mean, he was good last week. So
it says at the end there, Debo for Jonathan Taylor and T. Higgins, or trade for Jamar Chase is what got cut off.
Or trade for Jamar Chase. I am not trading for Jamar Chase right now, Jake.
He's got Devontae Adams and DeAndre Hopkins. I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that. And the reason I'm not trading for Jamar Chase is we really thought coming out of the bye that he was going to be like close to coming back. And reports are he's still using crutches to get around, which means he's still non-weight bearing, which means the x-rays are not healing the way that they wanted him to. So I'm just not, I'm not trading for a guy that I don't know if he's going to be healthy again this year. And I can't say that confidently as the doctor on the channel.
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm confident in Jamar Chase. And so I'm not going to actively try to trade for a guy I'm not confident in.
Yeah. And with Kenneth Walker being on a bye this week in his flex spot, he needs to swap him out. I'm going to go ahead and throw probably T. Higgins into that spot. Right away, maybe even a Devontae Smith if you want to shoot for a little bit higher ceiling, but a little bit more risky. But get Kenneth Walker out of there. He ain't playing this week. He's on bye. He's kicked back and relaxing, King Cobra. So make sure you get him out of your lineup. But overall, I like the presentation. I like the color. It was the only color we got this week, Ethan. A lot of people went back to pen and pencil. Jake? We need color. We need creativity. We are drawn to the color. I can almost guarantee if you submit things with color, at some point it's going to be drawn. So submit these with color. Ethan, what is your final grade here for Fresh Prince of Hilaire? Do take note. Hilaire is in the team name and not on the roster.
Oh,
automatic point deduction.
Point deduction. I was going to go A, but I'm going to go A minus because I'm offended by that.
You are? Okay, good. Well, because you have Kenneth Walker in there still, maybe you submitted early, you didn't realize it was bye weeks. I'm also going to go with an A minus, but don't make those trades down below. I think they make your team overall a little bit worse. I like what you got going on right here. I don't know what your record is. It's not on here, but it's got to be fairly good. I mean, you had to hold on to Hopkins for a while, but you've had some good pieces here throughout the season. But Ethan, those were our submissions for week 11 fantasy football. Can't believe we're already into the double digits like we are. But like I said, don't forget, I post a tweet every Tuesday. I've been really good about it this year, Ethan. I haven't forgotten one time. Every Tuesday, maybe I did once.
One time you did on Wednesday.
Okay. Every other week, I've done them on Tuesday. All you got to do, even if you don't use Twitter, that's cool. I don't really use Twitter either. I go on there, I make fun of things, and then I get off. And I really just use show us your teams and talk to the guys. That's about it.
Yeah.
Go on there, follow me, follow Ethan. Our links are down below in the description. And all you got to do is when I tweet it, attach this screenshot of your team, of whatever it is you've drawn, and then just watch YouTube on Fridays. And you never know, you may just see yourself right here in the Tailgate show. Ethan, anything else before we get out of here?
Yeah, we're looking for color, and I appreciated the questions. The number of questions we got this week were excellent. Really appreciate those. We love doing this, Jake. This is
Yeah.
like one of my favorite segments to do every single week.
One of the only segments.
Please,
you do,
please
but yeah.
keep submitting your teams. Who knows? We may do a championship special at the end of the year, hit a bunch of teams all at once. So make sure I would like to see teams in the middle of the season and then after they've won some chips. And we saw quite a few good teams today.
Yeah.
So let's see those. We want to see the progression to championship.
That's right. That's exactly what we're talking about. Looking forward to doing that. Hopefully you enjoyed this segment of Show Us Your Teams, but that's going to do it for Week 11. All right, and there you go. That's going to do it for the Week 11 Tailgate Show. Once again, thank you so much for the support here over the years. For us to hit 40 million views as a channel is a huge accomplishment that we don't take lightly, and we greatly appreciate the support of Headliner Nation out there. If you haven't become a member of the channel yet, please consider doing so. It's the blue little join button right down here. You get so many other member perks and access to Discord. We are getting to know the people in Discord. Our members are becoming a part of the family. We're dropping Zoom links where we get to go in there and just kick back and relax and talk to people, learn their name, learn what they do, learn where they live, really just do this stuff together, because that's what this is all about, is building a community first, and we're having a great time doing it. Thank you so much once again for all that support. But I'm going to get out of here for the day. I'm going to start kicking back and enjoying my weekend. We got a lot of football to watch. Hopefully you can enjoy your weekend too, and we'll talk to you later.